All right. Well, welcome everybody. It is 8 a.m. Today is Friday, 8 a.m. November 15th. So glad to have you here on our morning momentum call. And I wanted to start today off in this kind of momentum call series off the right way. I want to talk about our beliefs and our mindsets. And I actually just got back from the gym. As you can tell, I'm in my workout outfit. I'm actually kind of sweaty, but I'm feeling great. And what better way to start the morning off than to kick your body into gear and tell your body what's up. It can be hard sometimes. You wake up in the morning, you don't want to get to the gym, or you don't want to start exercising. Sometimes you don't want to hit the day that's ahead of you. Oftentimes in the mornings, you can be faced with anxieties and fears and all those different things. And really, one of the best ways to combat that is to start your day off right. Start your day off moving and forcing your body to do something that your mind wants it to do, and to really kind of set things moving forward the right way. So just to help you understand what I'm doing here and what we're going to be doing here every single weekday at 8 a.m. This is just to get your morning started. This is called morning momentum on purpose. Momentum happens one step at a time, and it builds and it builds and it builds. And so we're going to be having these calls every weekday morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Regardless of where you might be in the world, you can join us here live, or you can always watch it after the fact, because they'll be up and available to watch after the fact as well. Uh, but I wanted to talk specifically about positive affirmations and positive self-talk. This is something that I feel like has always come fairly simple and easy for me. A little bit about my background. I grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida. I grew up in a wonderful family, had a mother and a father who loved me, and I loved them. Although we grew up fairly poor, and oftentimes I think when you grow up in poverty, you are raised with certain limiting beliefs, certain limitations, and poverty is kind of relative. I think everyone at some point or another in their life is going to experience some form of poverty or lack. And as a kid growing up in that kind of situation, I learned, and again, this may have been something that just was a gift given to me, but I had this innate ability to stay positive, to think about the good, and to move forward happily, even through some of the hardest and darkest times in our childhood, or in my childhood. Um, and what I've also seen, though, is that positivity, even when it doesn't come easy for you, is something that you can create for yourself. This idea of positive mental affirmations, positive self talk, positive speech, is something that actually is extremely, extremely powerful. And I want to talk about this in relationship to exercise. Since I just got back from the gym, this is a great way to kind of get yourself motivated and keep yourself moving, and to keep that momentum going in the right direction, rather than possibly having it go in the opposite, false or bad direction that you don't want it to go in. I used to tell myself that I hated running. Now, I don't know if you're like me, or ever have been like me in that circumstance, but I used to tell myself, man, I don't enjoy running. I actually didn't say don't enjoy. I used to say I hate running. Running's not fun for me. I don't like it at all. I mean, I would use every kind of different superlative negatively about running that I possibly could. And I remember one day I was thinking about it, and I was creating a goal. I wanted to, drop some pounds. I wanted to get in better shape. And I decided in this moment that I was going to stop telling myself that I hated running. I'm going to start telling myself that I love to run. Now, this is an interesting kind of conundrum, because if you hate running, you've been telling yourself for years that you hate running, and all of a sudden you're going to start telling yourself that you love running. For a lot of people, they might feel like, man, I'm just really lying to myself. I'm not telling myself the truth, and I want to be honest, right? I don't want to be dishonest with myself. But what you're actually doing is you're setting the stage for growth. You're setting the stage to convince and to help train your mind so that you can change that current belief into something different, right? And so I would tell myself that I started telling myself that I love running. And it was interesting, because the first day or first even week that I got onto the treadmill and started running, my body didn't really love it. I mean, I was experiencing pain. My knees would hurt. I remember getting these really sharp pains in my knees as I was running. And mentally, it was difficult. My lungs would burn. And so as I'm sitting there on the treadmill telling myself how much I love running and how awesome it is, I would feel these pains and these different things in my joints and in my lungs. And the evidence wasn't there yet. But I want to say something right now that I believe is actually true. You make a decision, and then you begin to find the evidence to support that decision. You form a belief, or you choose a belief, and then you begin to find and create the evidences that will support that choice or that belief. And so for me, I was telling myself that I love to run. I was telling myself that I enjoyed it. I was telling myself all these different things at the same time, while feeling my knees hurt and my lungs burn, and the doubts start to creep up in my head. But I started to do something that was really powerful for me. I started in those moments as I was on the treadmill and the pain started to happen. I would start to breathe deeply, as deeply as I could if I wasn't, like, panting, but I start to breathe as deeply as I could, bringing as much oxygen as I possibly could. And as I'm running on the treadmill, as it's kind of going back and forth, I would tell myself, not only did I love running, but I would tell myself, oxygen flows through my body. My knee that was hurting, I would say, my knee feels great. My knee heals. My knee heals easily. I feel great. My knees are strong. And I would start to say all these positive words, all these kind of strengthening and positive affirmations. I'd say how good my lungs felt, and I'd close. Well, I don't know if I closed my eyes, but I would focus on a specific point in the gym and try to tune out everything else. And I'd focus on this, like, point. I think it was at the time I was looking at these air conditioning kind of ducts that were up at the top of the roof or the ceiling, and I'd focus on a very specific point there on the air conditioning duct, and I'd tune everything else out, and I'd tell myself over and over and over. I'd say these positive words: health. I'd say healing, health, oxygen flows through my body, and I kind of repeat these words over and over and over. And I'll tell you what was interesting, and this didn't happen immediately right away, but what started to happen was the pain in my knee began to dissipate. It began to go away, and I didn't feel that hurt like I was feeling it before. Started to leave my chest, and my breathing started to feel better and better and better. And I started to do this every day. I would tell myself how much I love this and how much strength I would feel. And I would pick certain words that really resonated well with me, words like power and health and wealth and strength and energy and oxygen. And I would say these words over and over and over repetitively in my mind as I was running. And it was interesting to see and to watch this happen, because again, it wasn't immediately, it happened over time. But I began to see that my knees, eventually the pain just pretty much went away. Every once in a while it would come back, and I would go into these affirmations and these words of these positive words, these mantras, and that pain would go away faster and faster and faster, until I really kind of started to get into a groove. I started getting into this groove of running, and I began enjoying it. And I don't think fully understand it or fully recognize it until I had kind of one specific moment where it all just kind of clicked for me. I was going to watch one of my children at a performance at their at the local high school, and I for some reason, I can't remember why, but for some reason when I was heading there, I was driving with my mother-in-law because she wanted to come, and so we're driving together to get there. We get out of the car. It has started raining. We're walking up to the performance, and when we get into the building, she realized that she had left her purse in the truck, and so she looked at me. She's like, "Steven, oh, I got to go get my purse." And I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll go grab it for you real quick." And she fought me for a second, but anyway, I said, "No, I'm gonna go get it." And so I went out the door, and almost instinctively, yes, it was running and all these other things, but almost instinctively, I began to run to the car, and it was so. I felt this kind of feeling of elation. I mean, I was like, I felt so good. I was breathing this oxygen in around me, and my lungs felt great, and my legs felt awesome. And I just started to run to the truck, grabbed the purse, ran back, and I took a note mentally, because for the first time, almost subconsciously, I wanted to run, and I felt good running. And it hit me that I had completely changed my current, or what was then my past belief. I completely changed it. I actually did love to run. I actually really enjoyed it. It felt good to my body. My lungs enjoyed it. My legs enjoyed it. My knees liked it. Like every part about me really enjoyed that activity of running. And so positive affirmations, these positive mantras, um, they work. And no matter what it is that you're involved in, no matter what it is that you're doing on a daily basis, whether you've got a job right now that you are telling yourself you don't like, or you're an entrepreneur and you're having a difficulty in a certain area, no matter what it might be, adding those positive affirmations to your mornings, or to any activity that you're doing. If you've ever done door to door, I've done door to door a couple different times. And door to door can be one of those things that can be fairly daunting at times. If you're an entrepreneur, you're in sales. No matter what it is, you're in sales. And so you have to do the difficult things. You have to send out those initial contacts. You have to market yourself. You have to pick up the phone and call people. You have to invite people to events or whatever it might be. You've got to move your business forward, and sometimes do those things that you may not always be super comfortable doing. But if you'll get in the habit of, when those feelings arise of discomfort, when you're feeling maybe even physical pain around it, or anxiety, or depression, or whatever might happen, if you will focus on the good, if you'll focus on what you actually want to feel, and how you want to feel, and how you want that circumstance to look like, and give yourself some positive words and affirmations to build that, you will begin to feel better. I will tell you, this takes discipline. It doesn't necessarily, it can happen overnight, but it doesn't necessarily happen overnight every time. But you can train your brain, you can discipline your brain and your body to obey and react to the words that you speak. So be very, very conscious of those words that you speak. So right now, as we're here and we're kind of wrapping up this call, again, these morning momentum calls are going to be probably 10 to 15 minutes, right around that range. And so as we're wrapping up this call this morning, I want you to think for a second of the positive words that you want to bring into your space, that you want to help motivate and energize you as you move through your day today. I'm going to say some words, and as I'm saying words, other words may come to your mind. But if you're not, hopefully, if you're in a space where you can, I would invite you real quick to just listen to my voice, close your eyes for just a moment as I speak some words, and I want you to think of other words that you can add to it that resonate with you. Words like power, strength, health, wealth, oxygen, joy, elation, excitement, energy, power, joy, friendship, smile. I want you to pay attention for a second as I'm saying these words. How are you feeling? What feeling actually is coming into your body? Are you noticing and recognizing that? If not, real quick with me, take a deep breath. Just breathe in real quick. Deep breath through your nose and then exhale. Take one more deep breath. Breathe in through your nose. And then exhale. What are those positive words? Positive affirmations, powerful, positive. Even those words, powerful and positive, have an energy that go along with it. The more you focus and the more you stay in that kind of sphere, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling anxious or depressed or scared or afraid or whatever, get rid of that. Get rid of even those words in your mind and begin saying the positive words of affirmation, the things that will build you and get you into the proper space so that you can continue the positive momentum for your day. That's what I've got for this morning. Thank you, everybody, so much. We'll see you Monday morning. Join us here. I'll get the link out to everybody again, but join us here with morning momentum. And I hope you have an awesome day and an awesome rest of your week, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.